What happens when privilege meets justice? This is the story of Elijah Jones, a young man who thought he was untouchable until he met Officer Amanda Blake. On a warm Saturday afternoon in Lincoln Park, Chicago, 22-year-old Elijah lounged on a bench, enjoying the bustling atmosphere. As the son of Police Chief Richard Jones, he had grown accustomed to using his father's influence to avoid consequences. When he spotted Officer Amanda Blake patrolling the park, he saw an opportunity to amuse himself. Amanda, a dedicated and professional officer, was simply doing her job, unaware that this routine patrol was about to take an unexpected turn. Elijah approached her with a cocky grin, his words dripping with arrogance. At first, his remarks were playful, but they quickly crossed the line into something more inappropriate. Amanda remained composed, dismissing his advances with a firm yet professional response. But Elijah wasn't the type to take no for an answer. What happened next would not only shock the parkgoers, but also teach Elijah a lesson he would never forget. Elijah Jones lounged on a bench in Lincoln Park, his eyes scanning the crowd for entertainment. That's when he spotted her, Officer Amanda Blake, patrolling the park with a confident stride. Smirking, he saw an opportunity to amuse himself. Rising from his seat, he approached her casually. "Hey there, officer," he called out, flashing a sly grin. "You're looking too good to be working today." Amanda acknowledged him with a polite nod. "Thank you. Stay safe and enjoy the park," she replied, keeping her focus on her job. But Elijah wasn't done. "Come on, don't be like that," he pressed, stepping closer. "A woman like you could make a man give up everything. What do you say we grab dinner tonight?" His tone grew bolder, his words more suggestive. Amanda's smile faded. "I appreciate the offer, but I'm here to do my job. Please keep it respectful." She had dealt with men like this before and knew how to handle them. But Elijah wasn't used to rejection. Instead of backing off, he leaned in even more. "You've got a body that could stop traffic," he murmured, his eyes lingering where they shouldn't. That's when he took it a step too far. As Amanda turned to walk away, he reached out and swatted her backside. The sharp sound echoed in the air, freezing the people nearby. Amanda stiffened, her hand instinctively moving toward her belt, but she took a steadying breath. Around them, the mood shifted. Parkgoers turned their heads, some pulling out their phones, sensing that something was about to happen. The tension in the air was undeniable, and all eyes were now on Elijah and Amanda. Amanda turned back to face Elijah, her expression now firm and unyielding. "You just crossed a line you shouldn't have," she said, her voice calm but laced with authority. "Sit down and don't move." Elijah chuckled, unfazed. Instead of complying, he stood taller, looking down at her with arrogance. "Or what?" he sneered. "You gonna arrest me? My dad's the police chief. You really think anything's gonna happen to me?" His confidence oozed entitlement, certain that his father's influence would protect him. Amanda didn't flinch. "This is your last warning. Walk away before you make things worse for yourself." But Elijah wasn't backing down. His smirk twisted into a scowl as he stepped even closer, invading her space. "I don't take orders from women," he scoffed before shoving at her shoulder. Big mistake. In one swift motion, Amanda sidestepped, grabbed his arm, and twisted it behind his back. "Enough," she commanded, her grip unyielding. Elijah's smirk vanished, replaced by a grimace of pain. "Let me go," he barked, struggling against her hold, but Amanda kept him firmly in place. The crowd gasped, phones held high, capturing every second. People whispered, watching as the entitled son of the police chief was subdued in front of everyone. But Elijah's ego couldn't handle the humiliation. With a burst of strength, he yanked himself free and swung a fist at her. Amanda was ready. She ducked, pivoted, and delivered a precise kick to his chest, sending him stumbling back. He barely had time to recover before she moved again, using his momentum against him. With a quick sweep of his legs, she sent him crashing to the ground. The crowd erupted. Cheers and shouts filled the air as the spectacle unfolded. Phones recorded every angle, ensuring there would be no escaping the truth. Elijah scrambled back to his feet, his face red with fury. "Is that all you got?" he spat, his pride wounded more than his body. He lunged at her again, but Amanda had seen enough. With a series of swift, calculated moves, she took him down one final time, locking him in place with a maneuver he had no chance of escaping. Groaning in pain, Elijah finally lay still, realizing too late that he had lost. Not just the fight, but his illusion of untouchable power. Elijah lay on the ground, groaning in pain, his confidence shattered. The crowd stood in stunned silence for a moment before erupting into applause. Some laughed, others cheered, and nearly everyone had their phones pointed at the scene, capturing every detail. Amanda stepped back, breathing steadily, her composure unshaken. "Call an ambulance," she instructed someone nearby. Within moments, sirens echoed through the park, growing louder as paramedics and backup officers arrived. 2 officers approached, securing Elijah in cuffs as he winced, his arrogance now replaced with frustration and embarrassment. He tried to protest, but the evidence was overwhelming. The bystanders had seen everything, and more importantly, they had recorded it. As Elijah was loaded onto the stretcher, the videos began making their way online. Within hours, the footage spread like wildfire. Social media exploded with debates about privilege, abuse of power, and accountability. News outlets picked up the story, replaying the moment where Elijah had arrogantly dismissed Amanda, only to be swiftly taken down. The son of the city's police chief, once untouchable, had been humbled in front of the world. At the police station, Chief Richard Jones sat in his office, watching the viral clips with a grim expression. He knew there was no defending his son this time. Despite his personal feelings, he had to uphold the law. Hours later, he addressed the media, his voice steady but solemn. "No one is above the law," he stated, "not even my own son. I deeply regret his actions and fully support the legal process moving forward." His words shocked many, especially Elijah, who had always relied on his father's influence to protect him. Meanwhile, Amanda was called in for an official review. The footage was analyzed, and witnesses were interviewed. After a thorough investigation, the disciplinary board reached a decision. Amanda had acted professionally and in self-defense, using the appropriate amount of force to subdue an aggressive suspect. Instead of punishment, she received praise. "You upheld the law with dignity," a senior officer told her. "We're proud to have you on the force." Elijah, however, faced the full consequences of his actions. Charged with assaulting an officer and disturbing the peace, he found himself in a position he had never imagined. Powerless. His reckless arrogance had finally caught up with him, serving as a harsh lesson that privilege could not shield him forever. As the days passed, the viral footage continued to circulate, sparking discussions about justice, accountability, and respect. And as Amanda returned to her duties, she carried herself with the same professionalism that had earned her the respect of so many. Meanwhile, Elijah sat in a holding cell, the weight of his choices pressing down on him, knowing that this time there would be no easy way out. The story of Elijah Jones is a powerful reminder that respect is earned, not demanded, and that no one, no matter their connections, is above the law. His arrogance led him to believe he could act without consequences, but reality proved otherwise. Officer Amanda Blake upheld her duty with professionalism and integrity, showing that justice does not play favorites. This incident not only humbled Elijah, but also sparked an important conversation about privilege and accountability. What do you think? Did Elijah get what he deserved? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more engaging content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.